Text him these 5 words, and he'll chase you nonstop. Let me tell you something that most people don't want to hear, but it's the truth. Men don't chase what chases them. They don't value what's always available. And they don't miss what never leaves their sight. Attraction doesn't grow from constant texting, explaining yourself, or proving your worth. Attraction grows in space. It grows in confidence. It grows when a man feels like he might lose you. Men value what feels limited and earned because effort creates emotional investment. When something is easy to access, always available, and requires no intention, the mind treats it as ordinary. But when access is controlled, when time and attention are not freely handed out, value begins to form naturally. This is not manipulation, it is human psychology. People protect what they work for. They respect what they have to earn. And men are no different. When a man feels that your attention is guaranteed, he subconsciously relaxes his effort. There is no urgency, no curiosity, no challenge. The pursuit energy fades because there is nothing to pursue. But when your presence is selective and your availability is balanced, something shifts in his perception. He begins to associate you with purpose instead of convenience. He starts showing up more intentionally, not because you asked him to, but because he feels the need to secure his place. Value is never created by overgiving. When you give too much too soon, you remove the opportunity for him to invest. Investment is not just about money or grand gestures. It's about consistency, effort, and intention. Each time he has to wait, plan, or adjust to reach you, his attachment deepens. The more he invests, the more he values the connection. Because walking away means losing something he worked for. This is why being busy is attractive. Not fake busy, but genuinely having a life that does not revolve around one person. When your time is full, your energy is protected, and your priorities are clear, you naturally become someone who feels rare. Scarcity creates focus. When a man senses that your attention is not unlimited, he becomes more present when he has it. Earned connection also builds respect. Respect grows when boundaries exist. When you do not over-explain, over-text, or overextend, you communicate that your standards are non-negotiable. He learns that being close to you requires effort, consistency, and emotional maturity. This pushes him to rise because men are wired to respond to challenges that feel meaningful. Chasing energy is born from fear of loss. When something valuable feels like it could slip away, attention sharpens. The mind starts prioritizing. He begins to initiate more, plan more, and think more about how to stay connected. This isn't about controlling someone, it's about allowing natural attraction to work the way it always has, through effort, purpose, and earned access. Attraction grows in space because desire needs room to breathe. When two people are constantly in contact, texting all day, checking in every hour, and sharing every thought in real time, there is nothing left for the imagination to do. Mystery disappears, anticipation fades, and emotional intensity slowly flattens. Space does not mean distance or coldness. It means allowing moments where connection is not being forced. When a man has time away from you, his mind fills the gap. He starts thinking about you when you are not present. He wonders what you are doing, who you are with, and how you feel. That curiosity is the foundation of attraction. Without space, there is no curiosity, only familiarity. And while familiarity can be comforting, it does not create excitement or pursuit. Constant availability sends a subtle message that you have nothing else demanding your attention. Even if that is not true, perception matters. When you are always there, always replying instantly, always ready, your presence becomes predictable. But when your energy comes in waves, when connection feels intentional instead of automatic, it gains weight. Every interaction feels more meaningful because it is not endless. Space also allows emotions to settle and grow naturally. When communication is nonstop, small misunderstandings can become amplified, and emotional dependency can form. With healthy space, emotions have time to mature instead of overwhelm. A man begins to associate you with peace rather than pressure, with curiosity rather than obligation. Another powerful effect of space is that it allows him to miss you. Missing someone is not painful when the connection is healthy, it is pleasurable. It reminds him of how you make him feel. It pulls him back toward you without you needing to do anything at all. Absence sharpens awareness, and awareness strengthens desire. Space also shows self-respect. It demonstrates that your happiness does not depend on constant validation or attention. That independence is deeply attractive because it signals emotional strength. Men are drawn to women who choose them, not women who need them. Space makes that distinction clear. When you allow space, you give him the opportunity to step forward. You stop filling every silence and start observing his effort. His actions become clearer, his intentions more visible, and his interest more genuine. Attraction thrives not in constant closeness, but in the rhythm of connection and separation that keeps desire alive. Confidence is shown by protecting your time, because time is the most honest reflection of self-worth. Anyone can say they value themselves, but how they allow access to their time reveals the truth. When you treat your time as precious, others learn to treat you the same way. When you give it away freely, without thought or boundaries, it quietly signals that your life can be interrupted at any moment, and that signal never creates attraction. Protecting your time does not mean being unavailable or distant. It means being intentional. It means choosing when and how you engage instead of reacting to every message or call out of habit or fear. A confident person responds. They do not chase. They participate. They do not overextend. This calm control sends a powerful message without a single word being spoken. When you are confident, you do not feel the need to prove your presence. You do not rush to reply to feel secure. You do not rearrange your entire schedule just to be available. Instead, you allow people to meet you where you are. That energy feels grounded, stable, and attractive because it shows emotional maturity. Men notice this immediately. When they sense that your time is structured and your life is full, they become more intentional with you. They plan instead of guessing. They show up instead of drifting. They understand that access to you is a privilege, not an entitlement. This naturally raises your value in their eyes, not because you demanded it, but because you demonstrated it. Protecting your time also protects your emotional energy. Overavailability often leads to burnout, resentment, and imbalance. Confidence allows you to step back before those feelings form. You engage from a place of choice, not obligation. That balance creates healthier dynamics where attraction can grow instead of suffocating. When you respect your own time, you set the standard for how others should respect it. You do not explain or justify your priorities. You simply live them. This quiet firmness is far more powerful than words because it is consistent. People adjust their behavior based on what you tolerate. Confidence does not announce itself. It shows up in how you move, how you respond, and how you protect what matters to you. When your time is guarded, your presence becomes more impactful, your attention more meaningful, and your absence more noticeable. Short, calm messages shift the power dynamic because they remove emotional noise and replace it with clarity. When communication becomes long, detailed, and emotionally loaded, it often reveals more than intended. It shows urgency, overinvestment, and a desire for reassurance. Short messages, on the other hand, communicate control. They suggest that you are centered, thoughtful, and not reactive. A calm message does not rush to explain or defend. It simply states what needs to be said and stops there. This creates a pause, and pauses are powerful. They force the other person to think, to interpret, and to engage. When you say less, the other person fills in the silence with their own thoughts, and that mental engagement increases emotional involvement. Long messages often come from fear of being misunderstood or ignored, but confidence trusts that the right people will understand without constant clarification. Short responses reflect emotional security because they do not beg for validation. They stand on their own. This subtle restraint changes how a man responds because he feels less pressure and more curiosity. Calm communication also prevents unnecessary conflict. Emotional reactions tend to escalate situations, while steady language keeps interactions grounded. When you remain composed in your messages, you become someone associated with peace instead of chaos. Men are naturally drawn to environments where they feel respected and emotionally safe. There are also strength not matching intensity. When a man sends mixed signals or inconsistent energy, responding with calm brevity keeps you in control of yourself. You are no longer reacting to his mood or behavior. You are responding from your own center. That balance quietly repositions the dynamic, placing you in a role of self-leadership rather than emotional dependence. Short messages also protect your dignity. Over-explaining can make you appear as if you are seeking approval or permission. Calm clarity avoids that trap. It communicates that you know who you are and what you want without needing agreement or reassurance. This creates respect, and respect fuels attraction. When communication is simple and composed, it becomes intentional rather than compulsive. Each word carries weight because it is not drowned in excess. The other person begins to pay more attention, not less. They read your messages twice. They feel the shift. Power moves away from emotional urgency and settles into quiet confidence. Chasing stops when self-respect starts because desire is drawn to boundaries, not to desperation. When you prioritize your worth and protect your energy, you automatically change the way others perceive and interact with you. Men do not chase what is handed over freely. They chase what they feel they must earn. When you stop bending over backward to gain attention, approval, or validation, you allow natural attraction to take its course, and that shift is powerful. Self-respect begins with knowing your value and refusing to compromise it for someone else's convenience. It shows in the way you respond, in what you tolerate, and in what you expect from the people in your life. When you are clear about your standards, men instinctively rise to meet them. They begin to invest more effort, care, and attention because they recognize that your time and energy are not cheap. This effort is not forced. It comes from genuine interest and the understanding that they are competing with the very real possibility of losing you. The moment you stop chasing, the dynamic shifts. You stop over-texting, over-explaining, and overextending, and suddenly the other person must step forward if they want to maintain connection. That space creates anticipation, curiosity, and emotional engagement. When your presence is intentional instead of automatic, it signals that you are independent, strong, and secure. These qualities are magnetic because they reflect someone who values themselves first, which is the foundation of attraction. Chasing also stops because self-respect teaches patience. You no longer need constant reassurance or immediate responses. You understand that timing and intention matter. You don't panic when someone is slow to respond because your confidence is not dependent on their approval. That calm assurance changes the energy of the relationship. Instead of pressure, there is space for genuine interest to emerge. Instead of neediness, there is desire that grows naturally. Men are wired to respond to challenges that feel meaningful, not to unlimited access that feels taken for granted. When you protect your emotional and physical boundaries, you create a healthy tension that encourages effort. You allow them to work for your attention, to demonstrate their intentions, and to show that they truly value you. That effort becomes rewarding, both to them and to the dynamic of the relationship. Self-respect also models how you expect to be treated in all areas of life. It communicates that your presence is valuable, your energy is precious, and your standards are non-negotiable. When a man senses this, he begins to act differently, not out of manipulation, but out of genuine recognition of your worth. Chasing naturally ceases, and the energy of pursuit shifts toward him, driven by respect, desire, and intention.